piggybacking off that story, a truly disturbing statement that is being conveyed here by the president. Because it's only a matter of time before we will see an incident where one of these Gestapo SS people are going to end up killing someone because they felt it was okay because of the words and feelings that are being conveyed by the president. Have you noticed the ones getting sympathy and sad? Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Segments on MSM have largely been European and Canadian. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, we have reporting here, but our media in general is very, very, very right-wing. You have to point the finger somewhere else as Trump loot the country. Yep. As Trump and etc. loot the country. My kid is biracial and trans. I'm really worried about her. Yeah. It's a sad reality that we live in, Carl. And I think it's sad and it's infuriating. There shouldn't be, we shouldn't have parents being scared for their children because they're biracial and trans. ICE kind of did that already in Texas. That ambush in South Texas, I do not believe it was a protester that was a sniper. I think it was border agents. Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, I think it was, if I'm remembering the same incident, I believe there were several people involved. But I don't think that this, I don't think that this is border agents firing on each other. I'm not sure of that. That is the story. No, this story is about Trump conveying the message that ICE agents should do whatever it takes to, quote, protect themselves. And my point is that this is going to lead to a very, very, very bad outcome. Donald Trump has given total authorization to federal immigration agents to protect themselves after a series of clashes with protesters, including during enforcement raids on 2 California cannabis farms. I am giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself, just like to protect the public. More Orwellian speak, by the way. Do you feel protected when ICE rolls around in masked, unmarked vehicles? Do you, as the public, feel protected? Trump posted on Truth Social, adding that that he was directing Homeland Security Christie dog killer Noam and border czar Tom Himmler-Homan to arrest anti-ICE and customs enforcement protesters who impede immigration enforcement operations. Trump said that he's told the administrators to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and other law enforcement officer who's on receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, and other forms of assault to stop their cars and arrest these, quote, slime balls, using whatever means is necessary to do so. To my understanding, I don't think that ICE can actually arrest citizens. That's not within their purview. You know, what is legal and what they can and cannot do, it really does not matter. This is going to go through the court so fast, but SCOTUS is likely to authorize the full police state because they're both in on the plan and operating with complete blinders to reality. Yeah, I don't have a. I'm not very confident in the Supreme Court. Like the way I see it, the way I see it, we are basically operating with no guardrails, essentially. That's what's happening here with each Supreme Court decision, as we will talk about in a moment. That's Trump impersonation. Is that Sam Cedar? Is that the Sam Cedar background? Yes. Are you Sam Cedar? Also, yes. Glad we can clear that up. The president appeared to be referring to an incident on Thursday when federal agents clashed with protesters during ICE raids on California's two California farms in Ventura County, north of LA. The lore, the headcanon here is that after Sam Cedar leaves the studio, I sneak in and set up my my own podcast here. And this is what happens when Sam Cedar leaves the studio. That's the headcanon, and I'm sticking to that story. No one can tell me otherwise. At Glass House Farms property in Camarillo, masked federal agents appeared to use crowd control measures, including tear gas, to curb a protest, which was responded to by thrown bricks. Notice the language here, responded to, i.e., who was the aggressor? Ah, that's right, the cops. About 200 suspected undocumented immigrants were arrested in both raids, according to federal immigration authorities, and a farm worker was fatally injured after falling from a roof. Running away from ICE, essentially, if I remember. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin later told Fox News that the injured man was not in and had not been in CBP or ICE custody. Although he was not being pursued by law enforcement, this individual climbed up the roof of a greenhouse and fell 30 feet. CBP immediately called the medevac to the scene and get him care as quickly as possible. Governor Newsom said the administration's actions were inhumane and its tactics were to evoke chaos, fear, and terror within our communities every turn. Yeah, I mean, like, that's great, but like, what are you gonna do about it, man? That's kind of like the issue. We all know the problem here, right? Like, we all know that this is all deeply horrific, right? And fascistic. We all know that this is authoritarian. But what are we know this. We know that the point of these tactics are fear and terror and chaos. But what are you, as the governor of California, going to do about it? That's kind of... We're way past the diagnosis of the problem here. We're way past that. You, Governor Newsom, who is a governor and incidentally has some kind of power, presumably. What are you going to do about it? Wanda, welcome. This is why we need McDonnie for mayor. Rent is so expensive. My guy has to rent a room under Sam's desk. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you don't bring this to Sam's attention. Okay, we got to keep the content going. Newsom's office later posted in response to a tweet from Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, also known as Goebbels, and Homeland Security Advisor. This fascist cuck in D.C. continues his assault on democracy and the Constitution and his attempt to replace the sovereignty of the people with autocracy. Yeah, again, that is all cool and all well and good, but like, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Because like, we're way past the point of diagnosing the problem. We need to list out the actions that the people in power can actually do. Like, what exactly can a member of Congress do? For example, well, they may be a minority, but the Democratic members of Congress, for example, can go repeatedly to these concentration camps and exercise their oversight authority. They do not have to be in the majority to do that, by the way. As a governor of effectively one of the largest economies in the world, you could enact policies that that would prevent, to the extent that you can, any cooperation with the federal government with regards to ICE. At all. Animate the window panes to warp, Sam can't complain. Maxwell Frost did. Yeah. I mean, like, a couple have, but we need more of that. I'm talking about, like, the entire body of the Democratic membership in the House and Senate. My Senator Van Hollen. Yes, exactly. Like that. We need more of that. My Senator Van Hollen went to El Salvador, and that's probably why Mr. Garcia is back in America. Right. We need more of that constantly, 24/7, every day. They can rotate and go, we're going to this facility and do inspections on this facility. The other group of Democrats are going to go to whatever other facility. Like, this needs to be like 24/7. So my point being is that we are way past, to just kind of bring it full circle. We are way past talking about what the problem is here, and saying what the issues are. Which, again, I mean, you know, we should continue to talk about it and bring that up to bring it closer and closer to more people, to make a critical mass of people that are aware of what's happening, because I don't think that enough people are aware. That's good, and we should keep doing that. But my point is that we know what the problem is. Gavin Newsom knows what the problem is. It's now a list of what it's now a to-do list of what you're going to do about it that we need to be seeing, particularly from those in power. BCAT, welcome. I mean, this issue with Congress ceding power to the administrative have been an issue for decades. They can't at least make as much of a fuss as they promised to do about the Epstein files. How many subscribers do we have to have? Do we have to get this space till they can accept super chats? 1 million. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think after 1,000, right? I think after 1,000. From the outside, it looks like it's the people versus all those in power. I mean, it is kind of right. It's exactly that dynamic. I think you got to be close. We're almost at 3K. Not Looney Tunes was being rude, but that's just the username. That's funny. So I'm getting word about the super chats. It just hasn't been turned on yet. So yes. The switch hasn't been put on. That's what's going on. Twin raids in California come despite guidance from Tatum King, a senior official with ICE, to regional department leaders at Homeland Security investigations, directing them to stop workplace immigration enforcement actions unless related to criminal investigations. Effective today, please hold on all worksite enforcement investigations on agriculture, including aquaculture and meatpacking plants, restaurants, and operating hotels, King wrote in the guidance last month. But the raids are continuing, along with clashes between protesters and federal agents. Last week, 10 people were arrested on attempted murder charges in connection with the shooting outside the Prairie Land Detention Center in Texas. A police officer was shot in the neck during what the U.S. prosecutors say was a planned ambush by assailants dressed in black military-style clothing. The 11th suspect, Daniel Rolando Sanchez Estrada, is the husband of one of the charged attackers and was arrested on conspiracy to tamper with evidence while attempting to execute a search warrant. He allegedly had insurrectionist propaganda. Part of the issue is that Democrats have been ceding the narrative to Republicans on the right way to govern for over a decade. Look how Biden accepted the right-wing framing on the border. Oh, no doubt that the problem here is that one of the problems is that there is no answer to this, right? There was never an effective message against Trump, and there's never an effective message against the status quo. People are tired of the status quo. People are tired of getting stomped on by capitalism. And Biden provided no alternative. Kamala Harris provided no alternative in the 2024 election. That's part of what happened here. The FBI said on Friday it is searching for the 12th person involved in the July 4th ambush, naming the suspect as Benjamin Song, a former Marine Corps reservist. Police said he is considered armed and dangerous. 3 days later, on July 7th, a man with a rifle and tactical gear was shot by police after he opened fire at a Border Patrol facility in McAllen, Texas, at the U.S. border. 2 officers and a Border Patrol employee were injured in the attack, including one who was shot in the knee by the Department of Homeland Security. Police identified the suspect as 27-year-old Brian Mosqueda. In his statement, Trump said he watched the California raids in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at officers while they were moving in a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Johnny Too Late, welcome. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time, being an SS officer. Being an SS officer in the American fascist regime is tough. It's tough, but you gotta be tough. Are having a hard time and allowing this to happen, and it shows total disrespect for law and order. And not the property. Will somebody think of the property damage? The annual budget for ICE will increase 8 billion to roughly 28 billion under Trump's spending bill, with plans to hire 10,000 new Gestapo agents and become the highest funded law enforcement agency, rivaling those of militaries. The funding rivals those of militaries.